Let's ask your question.
Guruji, it's from the life of Sri Krishna Dasa Babaji from Vrindavana. He went to Dwaraka to pay respect to Krishna and took the Tapta Mudra. When he came back from Dwaraka, from his pilgrimage to Vrindavan, he had a dream of Radha where she said that he should leave Vrindavana because now he is included into the retinue of Satyabhama, because he took this Tapta Mudra in Dwaraka. And my question is, why is Dwaraka under Satyabhama, and what is the relationship of Radha and Satyabhama that Radha came into his dream and said this to him?
Look, dream is dream. This is one thing, you know. Of course, dream of Srimati Radharani, dream of great souls. It is important to understand the deeper meaning for that. So in this story, which you just said right now, you see very often, even sages, we have a certain complex, you know. For example, if we belong to a certain group, and when we go somewhere else, we feel a certain guiltiness inside. And that, due to that guiltiness, we think we have done an offend. Very often you will notice that certain devotee of certain guru will not go even have the blessing of a saint if the saint is visiting them. Because they feel, oh, if I go and have the blessing of that guru, I will offend my Guru Maharaj, or my lineage, or whatever. But this is a very cheap way of thinking. Because if you think like that, we are reducing God in the same level as a human being. We are reducing that Supreme Lord, which is omnipresent, into our own limitation. So the same game that everybody play, you know, all people, we play a game of limitation. Our thinking, our understanding, how we see things, are all based by the 5 elements. The Panchatattva. No? So all are limited. How we think, how we act, how we do it is all in a limited way. And that is the problem, that we also project that limitation upon the realm of the Supreme. No? In the Veda, it is mentioned, you know, you all know this mantra very well. Purnamadam, Purnamidam, Purnat. Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vashishyate. No? Bhagavan exists before everything was created. Everything created by His will. He is and He will always be. He is full in Himself. As much as we can take from Him, He will never get diminished. As much as we put into Him, He will never get more plenty. He is Purna. Of course, when it comes to devotee, Bhagavan play a different lila with the devotee. Sometimes you are very dear to somebody, like that saint itself, you know, he went to Dwarka and took Diksha there also, you see, which should not be. This is a mistake, actually, because if he have already his own path, that's what Srimati Radharani wanted him to understand, you know. That fullness that you're looking for, you can attain that itself in the path you are in. It's not by dancing around, going there, take that diksha, going to that person, take another diksha, going to another person, get this mantra, going to that other person, go and get mantra. You're not here shopping. You're not here Like, okay, I take Diksha here, there and everywhere. No. It's about being fully present, but knowing that the Supreme Lord Himself, in the path that He have bring you, you can realize Him, you can attain Him itself, you know. But this we see the attitude of many people actually. You see, when you look at the world itself, you know, the spiritual world itself actually, we see that people like, let me do this course, let me go see this guru, let me do this, try this exercise, but that also for me, also many people ask me, if I can try this, or I can do this, I can do that. Yes, you can do everything. As long as you're clear about your path firstly. As long as you know where you stand and that your path will lead you to that ultimate grace itself. Then you can dance around. First, build up that strong determination about where you stand, you know. If you are in Bhakti Marga, build up that strength in knowing in deepness about Bhakti Marga itself, you know. Then you can dance around. But people do the opposite. They come, they oh, it's nice, let me try this one, let me try that one. Let me get this from here, let me get that from there. Well, some traditions say, yes, take the good from it and benefit from that. But initiation is a very big thing, you know. It's not a slight things that you just take and then move on. And that's what Srimati Radharani wanted that saint to understand, that yes, you belong to me, but you went and take initiation somewhere. So meaning that you don't trust me enough, but I can lead you to what you wanted really. It's a lack of trust that he shows. That's what Srimati Radharani said, but now you don't belong to me, you belong to Satyabhama. It's not that it is she have a personal agenda, that she personally say, oh, you know, you're mine, I want to have my grips upon you and all this stuff. No, it's not about that. But she wanted him to understand that what he was looking for, he can find it in his own path where he belongs. You don't need to go anywhere else, you know. Be dedicated, be loyal, be truthful, be fully focused upon that, you know. Grow in the depth of devotion into the path you are in. So that's what she wanted him to understand. Anybody else? Yes.
Dear Gurudev, many times you say we should listen to our feeling. There's one satsang where you say listen to your feeling, and then there's the other side, listening to the heart is sometimes difficult, because even listening to the heart can be just a lie from the mind. As in one video you say, in one satsang you say, when people are not in tune, they cannot really have intuition, then they are not grounded. To hear the intuition, we have to be in a state of deep calmness and silence. When we close our eyes and hear many voices, then they're all just recordings. So what is the reality check for people to know if they are just fooling themselves, thinking they're listening to their heart and to their feelings, and when are they not?
Well, you see, very often we come across people who are very confident that they are listening to their heart feeling. But to listen to one heart feeling, like I said already in your message itself, what you were saying, the mind of such person must be calm. If the mind is not calm, to distinguish what is intuition and what is the mind is very difficult. Easy thing is that the intuition awake in a very subtle way when you are not aware, you know. Very often you take always the second decision always, you know. You listen always to your mind and go with your mind and thinking, yes, I am doing the right thing. I am listening to my inner feeling. I don't say that everybody is wrong. The inner feeling of everybody. You see, there is a certain percentage of righteousness inside, but there is also a percentage where we are deluded with our own mind, which very often we listen to. So many times, you see, people come to me and say, oh, I feel like that. And I say, no, it is not like this. They said, no, but inside I feel like this. You see, if you have not yet conquered your mind, even your feeling is wrong. So how can you listen to that feeling? That's why Krishna emphasized first in the Gita that control of the mind is very important. When you're in control of the mind, you perceive that everything is fine. There's no need to fight, there's no need to, dictate others, because this is, the nature of human, Nature of human is like this, we think we know better than everybody else, and that we have to teach everybody else how to be. We see that everywhere, You see that in yourself, That because we think that we are very important and very great, and we understand better than anybody else, Be it, I was in Ayodhya, one thing that I noticed, everybody think that they're better than somebody else. Whether they are in the spiritual path or in the material path. There's a complete competition happening. And this competition also happens in one life itself. Your heart says, yes, I'm better. Your mind says, no, I am better. Then there's a big competition between the two. The heart is pulling one side. Thanks God that they can't go out of the body. If both of them will pull, one will pull down and the other one will pull up, you will explode. But luckily, it is happening inside. And very often we project that insecurity or this unsureness all around us, you see, because that is how we can't even respect each another. We can't trust each another. Because you're unsure about yourself. When you're unsure about yourself, that's what you will give to the outside. So that's why very often they say, listen to your intuition, but you have to understand what it means to listen to an intuition. Listen to an intuition is not just listening to one satsang or read one thing and say, yes, that sounds very much for me. Very often you see, oh, you see, Swamiji, you're talking exactly that's what I wanted to hear. No, you see, it's not about that, what you wanted to hear. I don't care what you want to hear. It's about you working on yourself. Competition is not, like I said, it's not about somebody else. It's about competition between your yesterday you and your today you. Are you the same person who you were yesterday? Or you're a different person? I don't mean worse, I mean better. That is a competition that we have to do, between our yesterday self and today's self. I am better today. Did all the negative quality which I hold yesterday is different today? Or am I the same person? Then nothing have changed. So that's what is important to understand, That if we want to give advice to somebody, we have to imply this advice in ourselves firstly. Because very often we can think that we are doing for the betterment of the society, or we are doing it for the betterment of the community, or for the betterment of the Sangha, or whatever. But our ego is also there, because I am somebody, I can take whatever decision I want, so I take that decision. But in longer run, in place of making things better, you make the same mistake. Even worse, actually. And that is where one have to be careful, I say. Many have done that mistake. Look at them and learn from that mistake. It's not that you have to make the mistake yourself and learn from it, then you know what it is. You can learn from the mistake of others and not to make the same mistake. But the ego is too big, The ego demands that I am always in front. The ego demands that my voice should be heard, It screams so loud in the mind, but you confuse that what is inside of your heart. So you have to start looking at yourself, Is my mind calm? Because a calm mind would not have any problem with anybody. A calm mind sits in peace within oneself. So, because our mind is not calm, we find it very difficult. We have to express our own insecurity upon others. Because we are insecure in ourselves. When we are insecure in ourselves, we don't want to show that. We have to show to everybody else that we are secure. And this is where the mistake happens. In place of working upon oneself, we project it upon everybody else, and in long term, nothing really works. That's why, you see, people start with a very deep enthusiasm. I have that feeling that I belong to this path. I have that feeling I belong to you. Then, okay, fine. Feeling can't be wrong. That intense. But would you be able to sustain it, Would you let that flame which is burning inside of your heart, when you first feel it strongly, carry on burning? Or does it fade away after some time? So that's what you have to work on yourself. And really, like I said, it's about being better, not in a competitive way into the outside, but better with yourself. From your yesterday self and your today self. Very good, Dave.